Hey guys, QuinntonTV here, and welcome to a brand new video where today, we've not done a video like this in a while. Welcome to a commentary style video, and I know I say that all the time, but today I don't want this video to be too long. I just wanted to quickly make this and discuss my thoughts on the latest Call of Duty game. So if you don't know, Black Ops 7 has been out for about maybe 2 weeks now, nearly, and I was going to have this out last week, but something happened in my personal life, and I just haven't had time to record videos because I've been doing a bunch of other stuff, basically. But basically today I just wanted to outline my thoughts on Black Ops 7, and I've been playing the game quite a bit, I will be honest, and I have been enjoying it. Like, I feel like the game itself is quite good, and like, obviously it's COD, it's the same sort of thing every year, and the gameplay itself is, you know, the same gameplay that we had back in like 2012 with Black Ops 2. It's the same sort of principle, but it's just these, you know, like little things that have been added on over the years that have slowly corrupted what made COD good, and obviously skill-based matchmaking, which we are going to talk about in this video. But without further ado, I think we're going to break this video down into 4 parts. We're going to do good first, then we're going to do like the meh and things that sort of need improvement. Yeah, so without further ado, let's jump straight into it. So, first things first, I want to talk about the good parts of Black Ops 7, and I think, you know, as I said, this is a pretty decent game. It is definitely a massive improvement over Black Ops 6, in my opinion, because in my opinion, Black Ops 6 wasn't very good, and I literally stopped playing it maybe like 2 or 3 weeks after launch. We're already starting to get to that point now where I just kind of lost interest in Black Ops 6, and I can't really say the same for Black Ops 7. I have been enjoying it a lot more than I thought I would, especially when they announced this game. I was just thinking, holy shit, it's just going to be Black Ops 6 2.0, and it's just going to be nostalgia baiting, it's just going to be, you know, absolute crap, basically. But I have been really enjoying the game. I've been putting a lot of hours into it, trying to get my level up, and yeah, so I've been enjoying the gunplay. I think that feels really good. The streaks are interesting, mainly with the overclocks, which are actually a really unique feature, but it's not unique, it has been done before in COD. But, yeah, we'll get onto that in a minute. But, yeah, like, the gunplay has been, you know, pretty damn good. The maps aren't actually that bad, I don't think, especially over, like, Black Ops 6. In fact, I actually don't think I can name a single Black Ops 6 map. You know, I played the game, it was out for, like, a year, and I actually cannot remember a single map from that game. But in this game, the maps are pretty good. Even the original ones are actually okay. And, you know, they're not, like, amazing or anything, but they're, you know, they're good enough that they're, like, I'll see a map come up and I'm not like, oh my god, I want to kill myself, that sort of thing. Not amazing, but they are, you know, they're acceptable, I guess you could say. So streak overclocks, that's the next thing I wanted to quickly talk about. And that's one of the things that I found quite interesting, because if you don't know, back in Advanced Warfare, there was a feature where you could sort of like customize your kill streaks and stuff like that. Basically, you could like select different things. Say if you had a warbird or something, you could add rockets to it, you could have lasers, you could add all fucking sorts, and it would like affect the price. Now, there is stuff like that in Black Ops 7. I was having a quick look then, actually, and on the UAV, there is a overclock that makes it cheaper, because 5 kills is a lot for a UAV, in my opinion, and the personal radar is the stupidest fucking decision that Modern Warfare 2019 made. Like, whose idea was it to have a UAV just for you? Because that is the most selfish fucking prick attitude I've ever seen in my life. Whoever, you know, thought, oh yeah, let's have a cheaper UAV that is just for you. Whoever, you know, came up with that needs sacking. I'm sorry. Yeah, so after I've taken out my anger on the personal radar, the streak overclocks are just like a pretty neat going back to that Advanced Warfare sort of mentality. Like, you've got the, as I said then, the overclock that makes the UAV a bit cheaper, and I think that's ultimately a good thing. And I believe there's one that makes them like harder to shoot down as well. So say like someone aims a rocket at it and shoots it, it will deploy a flare or something, or I think it also makes it more resistant, which is, I don't know, stuff like that is really good. Like, I think one of them decreases the score you need to get it, and then the other one increases it, but it makes it a bit stronger. You know, that sort of thing. But yeah, that's basically all I've got to talk about with the good, because it's basically the same thing we got last year, and I'm going to talk about that in a bit. But yeah, it's the same sort of thing. The gameplay is solid, because COD, for the first few weeks, is always quite solid. It's only when you start getting into Season 1, Season 2, that the problems always start to emerge, and I don't think that's something COD can afford to do this year. And we'll talk about that more in a bit, but I think a lot of it is just kind of like expected, you know, like the guns work, the maps are okay. Like, I think those were more important to mention because, I don't know, I've been pleasantly surprised with the game, if you know what I mean. It's a lot better than I expected it to be, and it is actually, if they keep up and play the cards right, it could be a really good Call of Duty. But anyway, now let's move on to the meh. So there's only one proper thing I wanted to talk about in this category, and that is the over-reliance on nostalgia. And I put it here because it's not the end of the world for me. Like, I don't know, we had, you know, like the Modern Warfare games where everyone was going, oh my god, it's Modern Warfare again! But, and there was like that whole nostalgic aspect to it. But with this, it's a lot of just like the same stuff that we expected from Black Ops 2. Like, you know, the M8's in there, the MSMC, the Cap 40, stuff like that. And then you've got like the Black Ops 2 camos, which you can get in the game. I swear I saw something about that. And yeah, it's just stuff like that, little things that are just like, you don't need to do that. Like, you're going off old content because, it just makes you seem like you don't trust in the new stuff enough, and you can't make anything as good as, say, what Treyarch made back in 2012, so you've got to piggyback off that to make your game a little bit better, which, the reason I've put this in the Met is because it's not that big of a deal. Like, a lot of the new content they've added in as well, like, as I said, with the maps, some of the camos are just kind of like your basic stuff, so there's not really much to talk about there, but like the guns and all that new stuff is okay. You know, it's acceptable, as I said before, and it's not really anything to complain about. So I guess you could say that with the nostalgia stuff and the new stuff, it's kind of like, it's not really a big deal. If you looked at it and it was just like the nostalgia stuff, I think I'd have a much bigger problem with it. And the next thing I wanted to talk about is the matchmaking. Now, there's a reason I'm not putting this straight in the good, because obviously the removal of skill-based matchmaking is a absolute objective positive. However, most people aren't that sure if it's been actually removed or not, because basically what I've noticed while playing the game is I might have one game that feels like skill-based matchmaking is in the game, and then the very next game that it just feels like normal and it's actually quite good fun. And I don't exactly know how to rationalize this. I think you could argue that it's like, oh, because it's no skill-based matchmaking relying on connection and all that, you're just getting into different lobbies each time, which is obviously fine. Like, I don't mind having one or two games where I get absolutely shit on, but like, the problem is that those one or two games are a little too consistent, if you know what I mean. Like, I'll get a few games where I'm getting absolutely shat on, and then it feels like when, you know, like you drop down a bracket back in like Black Ops 6 or Modern Warfare 3, stuff like that, that's sort of what it feels like. But then when you get into the, you know, the drop down bracket in this game, I guess you could say, it feels like there's no skill-based matchmaking whatsoever, because there's players of like all sorts of ranks. And when I get into these absolute, like, CDL reject lobbies, it seems like everyone's already really high rank, you know, they've got loads of hours played and stuff like that. I don't know, it just feels really weird, and obviously you've got, like, the conspiracists, like, Activision's just trying to use this as a rationale, like, oh, that we had that one game without skill-based matchmaking, and nobody liked it, so we've got to rely too much on this, and I feel like that's the thing they're going to go with going forward, and we're never going to see anything without skill-based matchmaking ever again. But obviously, if Activision come out and clarify, which, you know, taking their word with a grain of salt, really, but if they, like, had, you know, like, the documents, the proof, and all that stuff, that it's not in the game, the open playlist is still open, I think that would do wonders for the game, to be honest with you. I think it's mainly just the fact that we're unsure what's going on with skill-based matchmaking, and that's the big reason that I've put it in this category here, because, you know, I want to, you know, everybody wants skill-based matchmaking gone. However, the fact that people are suspicious that it's still in the game is interesting, to say the least. But, you know, when I've been getting into these matches that, you know, feel like they don't have skill-based matchmaking, the game feels amazing. And it's actually some of the most fun I've had in COD, especially like going back into the beta, which Nero Cinema actually brought this up, saying that the matchmaking feels different to the beta, and I agree. It does feel different to the beta. It doesn't feel as open, if you know what I mean. But honestly, even if it's like a minimal consideration, which they say on like the description of quick play and stuff like that, not of quick play, of the open matchmaking, it says skill is minimally considered, which, yeah, that's kind of what we want. And if it is, you know, like a very, very small, you know, like part of it, part of like, you know, the matchmaking algorithm and stuff like that, that's fine. But anyway, I think we've talked about skill-based matchmaking enough, and I might have another video coming about that at some point, but we're going to move on to the bad, and I feel like you all know what's going to be first in the bad category. Alright, I don't think this one needs any introduction. The campaign. What the fuck is that, man? Like, I'm sure you've all seen the screenshots of fighting the fucking giant Merle Dixon from The Walking Dead. Like, what were they thinking when they came up with that campaign? For context, I haven't actually played it yet, and if you want me to suffer through it, let me know. I'll play it on the channel at some point, but Jesus Christ, I don't understand what they were thinking with this campaign. They honestly, at this point, they should have just gone the Black Ops 4 route and just had the, I don't even know what it's called, the endgame game mode, I think it's called. They should have just had that instead of a campaign. It probably would have been better. Pretty sure that the majority of Call of Duty fans could have lived without this campaign experience. It's like the best COD we've had in recent years, which I'd argue is Modern Warfare 3. That campaign was awful as well, so maybe that's a telling sign, but we'll have to wait and see. It's just, I don't know what they were thinking when they came up with this campaign, man. It was absolutely fucking ridiculous. And another thing I wanted to bring up, I was going to mention this when they actually announced the game and everything, but I never, you know, got round to making a video on it. They talked about Menendez being in the game. Now, I haven't actually played the campaign, so I don't know what his role is. However, in the like interview, they go on about something like, oh, Menendez was seemingly killed. And I'll just show you what I mean.
At the end of Black Ops 2, Raul Menendez was seemingly killed.
Yeah, I don't think he was seemingly killed, because I put his fucking brains all over the screen! Honestly, man, I don't understand who at Treyarch sat down and thought, you know what, this is really good. Let's have Menendez come back from the fucking grave. But yeah, we're going to move on now, because the campaign is just the worst aspect of the game by far. And they could have skill-based matchmaking in the game completely fully, and the campaign would still be the worst part. Now, I think one of the major complaints for, you know, going into this game was that it's basically just Call of Duty, and I've mentioned this already, COD, you know, like franchise fatigue and stuff like that. It feels a lot worse since, like, Modern Warfare 2019, obviously with, like, the little exception of Cold War. But I think it comes down to, you know, like the new engine, the Modern Warfare 2019 engine, which is now being used for every single developer's game, instead of, you know, like Treyarch having their own engine, Sledgehammer having their own engine, and Infinity Ward having their own engine. It just feels like way too similar between games, And I used to love that about COD, how like each game would feel different. And this even goes into like the universe and stuff. Like they basically just said now that every Call of Duty is in the same universe, and I think that's fucking stupid, mainly because obviously the rumours are suggesting that Modern Warfare 4 is going to be the game next year, and that'll be set probably in 2026 or 2027. Black Ops 2, you know, the game that's in the future and is set in the same universe as that, is set 2 years earlier, and that is not a modern game. That's near futuristic. So that's, you know, a little bit of a timeline discrepancy, I guess you could say. It's fucked. The Black Ops universe should be its own universe, and the Modern Warfare universe should be its own universe, and then Sledgehammer can basically do whatever the fuck they want with their stories and stuff like that. It just feels like they're really trying to mesh COD into one identity, even though it never was that. Like, Black Ops was always different to Modern Warfare, even though it's like the same basic stuff, they still felt different. But now that, you know, feeling is starting to wear away, and you've got like Black Ops 6, which felt like fucking Modern Warfare 2 in some way, and Modern Warfare 3. It felt very similar. They added tac sprint into the Treyarch games when, you know, obviously Cold War didn't have that. And it's just, they've really tried to build off this engine, which I guess you can't really fault them for, but yeah, it just makes the games all feel the same, especially since Modern Warfare 2. And it's not great, and it's one of my least favourite aspects of new COD. And the final thing I wanted to talk about in this category is the servers. Now, I've been complaining about this every year since Modern Warfare 2019. The servers for Call of Duty are fucking awful. Like, I believe from what I've heard is that the Call of Duty servers are still on like a 30 tick like server. Instead, when most games, so like Tarkov, Battlefield, stuff like that, are all on 60. It's somewhat like that. The numbers might be incorrect, but you know what I mean. Like, Call of Duty servers are woefully outdated for what they are. And also, I've noticed it a little bit with Black Ops 7. It's not as bad because I actually got the new Wi-Fi, and the new Wi-Fi is fucking brilliant, by the way, but I have noticed that there is a few, and by a few I mean quite a bit of packet burst, and I don't have this problem in Battlefield 6, I don't have this problem in Halo, I don't have this problem in any other game, but I do have it in Call of Duty still. And if I go back to Black Ops 2, it's fine there. If I go back to play like Ghosts, Advanced Warfare, Black Ops 3, everything up until probably Modern Warfare 2019, it's, you know, night and day different. Like, the connection is so much better for no reason. And even then, Black Ops 4 was known for having a terrible connection. I don't know where it's gone wrong, and like, I don't think the devs even know either, which is another crazy thing. Like, they actually have no idea. But anyway, that's all I wanted to say about the bad at the moment, so let's move on to the final part of the video. So the final part of this video, I just wanted to quickly talk about, like, just a general discussion, because the sales for this game aren't looking good. Like, I'm pretty sure Battlefield has already announced that they... Bloody hell, this dog's going mental. One sec, I'm going to have to let him out.
A little longer than a few minutes later.
Dog has been released. But anyway, the sales for this game, as I said, not looking good. Battlefield has already announced that they're the best-selling shooter game of 2025. And it's, not even the start of December yet. We've not had Black Friday, which is obviously this weekend. We've not had Christmas, which is literally the biggest corporate, you know, sort of thing, corporate event of the year, especially for like video game sales, because loads of people buy video games for like their families and stuff at Christmas. Yeah, we've not had any of that, and Battlefield 6 is already getting a lead, so like a massive lead. So if you're looking at that, even if COD, you know, did well over Black Friday, did well over Christmas, stuff like that, Battlefield 6 is also going to do well over Christmas. So it's going to end up being that this lead remains, basically, if you know what I mean. But one thing I will say about this could actually be good for Call of Duty rather than, you know, like a bad thing. Mainly because Activision has had the mentality over the last few years of that they're too big to fail, if you know what I mean. Like, they've been pushing people further and further and further each time, and then Battlefield 6 comes out, an absolutely brilliant game, and then obviously Activision have absolutely no plan because they didn't go into it thinking, well, they went into it thinking like, oh yeah, we're too big to fail, and then they get absolutely just like in the fucking sales departments and stuff like that, which is good to see because it means that Call of Duty actually has to try and keep players now and actually do stuff to keep them, you know, invested, keep them playing, and not like the way that they think where it's like, oh, we need engagement, optimized matchmaking and stuff like that, and then more stuff to, you know, like push sales further and further. What they need to do is actually listen to people and give them what they want. Like, it could be that we get another Modern Warfare 3 style content, you know, like year, where Modern Warfare 3 came out, it launched with all the original maps like we thought Black Ops 7 was going to. It launched with all the original Modern Warfare 2 maps, I should say, and then we actually thought going into Black Ops 7 that we were going to get the same, just with Black Ops 2 maps instead of Modern Warfare 2, you know, like stuff like that. Basically, what could happen is that we get a similar, you know, like roadmap, similar amount of content that we got for Modern Warfare 3, we get for Black Ops 7, and we get like just banger after banger, because that's what Modern Warfare 3 was. In my opinion, I think it was probably the best Call of Duty game we've had probably since World War II. Like, World War II was a good COD in my opinion, but like it's probably the best ones we had since then, even with the skill-based matchmaking, because the content and Sledgehammer were just on it with everything. So yeah, it's one of them in it. If they do it, they do it. If they don't, they don't. But it needs to happen. If it does happen, it will give a much more like positive outlook on Call of Duty going into Modern Warfare 4. And we all know what Infinity Ward's like. Infinity Ward likes it their way or the highway. Like, they just absolutely do not listen to anyone. And Treyarch are sort of in the middle. They've kind of been like, you know, pushing it a bit more towards the Infinity Ward route at the moment. But, you know, we need them really to take the Sledgehammer Games approach and actually listen to people, do what the community wants them to do, just so they can get people on the game and they can keep their sales figures up. Because otherwise, if they fuck us over, they put skill-based matchmaking back in, they, you know, do all this stuff, it's not going to go well for the game. And the final thing I want to mention is it is absolutely essential that we let Activision know that we do not want skill-based matchmaking in Call of Duty ever again. Because that's, as I said before, Activision's going to look at it if they do bad, like, oh, we need skill-based matchmaking because, you know, Black Ops 7 didn't sell well, and they completely ignore all the other aspects of why the game didn't sell well. They'll just focus on that, and then we'll never be able to get rid of skill-based matchmaking. So all I can say, if you're playing Black Ops 7, do not play the standard playlist. Only play the open playlist, so you have no skill-based matchmaking. Well, or what we think is no skill-based matchmaking, because we don't want these people at Activision thinking that the data and all that is, you know, like, oh, people massively prefer the standard matchmaking, because no, they don't. I don't know anyone that likes skill-based matchmaking. I don't know anyone that wants it in the game. So all you have to do is only play the open playlists. Like, anything in there, like right now there's Nuketown 24/7, Skirmish 20v20 and Gunfire, and then obviously like your quick play and all that and all your standard modes. But yeah, just play that. Don't, you know, give them the satisfaction of letting them take skill-based matchmaking and putting it back in the game. Because I guarantee you, Activision, if that happens, no one is going to play your game. And Modern Warfare 4 will be a flop. And there's nothing you can do about it, because no one will want to play just this massively skill-based experience like before. Just look at the interest in Black Ops 7. That is, you know, it's not going to go away unless you do something about it. But anyway, guys, that's going to be it for today's video here. I know it was quite a rambly one. However, I just wanted to get my thoughts out about this game. I might play the campaign, I might not. I'm going to probably be playing zombies at some point as well. That should be pretty decent. But other than that, yeah, that's my thoughts on the multiplayer. Hopefully, you guys enjoyed my ramblings. You know, because that's what these videos end up being. It's just me just giving my opinion about the game, and hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and hopefully let me know, you know, what your opinions on Black Ops 7 are down in the comments. And yeah, we can all have a nice discussion about that down there. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, please leave a like and subscribe. Make sure you turn on post notifications so you never miss a single video, or alternatively, you can join the Discord server as a link down below. But anyway, this has been QuinntonTV, and I'll see you all in the next one.